down.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is a fun and different spring makeup tutorial. So when I think of spring, I think of something fresh, glowy, and just fun. So I wanted to pair this glowy face up with something bold on the eyes. So I went for a beautiful electric purple liner and smoked it out with some amazing shadows. Can I just stop and give myself credit for how bomb I winged that intro? I didn't even turn the camera off once. Snaps for me, snaps for me. As always, everything will be listed in the description box down below, so make sure to check that out. And comment and let me know what your favorite part of this makeup tutorial was so I can read it and get excited. Don't forget to subscribe to see future tutorials. I love you guys and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Hey guys, for this tutorial we're going to start off with the face first and then jump into the eyes. So I'm taking my Holy Grail foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear. I am in the shade Tawny, but we're going to mix Tawny and Cashew today because I am much tanner now. I'm applying this using the Morphe Highlight and Contouring Sponge. I really love using the sponge as my full face tool because the flat side is so handy for so many different techniques, and you also get the taper side on the opposite end, which is amazing for concealer. So applying my concealer, I'm taking the MAC Pro Longwear in the shade NC25 and 30. I'm mixing those two and applying it with the taper side of the sponge. I'm placing it underneath my eyes, forehead, and chin. And I also cover up my eyelids with this just so it can act as my eyeshadow primer and cover up my veininess. One trick I've been loving lately is taking a concealer that's much lighter and applying it only underneath your eyes just so it can give a more brightening effect. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer. I'm in the shade Light Warm. This is much lighter for me now that I'm more tan, so I only use it to highlight and add brightness. So since we're doing a full face routine, I decided to contour with creams as well. I'm taking this Kryolan Ultra Foundation Trio D, and I'm using the darkest color with a Morphe M501 brush. I feed the contouring shade into the brush, and then I dust a bit off on the back of my hand just to make sure that the cream won't apply too heavily. I then simply whisk this in the areas that we contour, like cheekbones, chin, forehead, and a little bit on the tip of my nose and along the sides. Then once that's applied, I just go back in and buff everything with my sponge. To set and bake my face, I'm taking the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder with the taper side of my sponge. I'm applying this directly underneath my eyes, on the top of my lids, forehead, nose, underneath my contour, and then I dust it all off with a Morphe E2 blending powder brush. Now to bronze up my skin, I'm using the Hoola bronzer by Benefit on a Samey Beauty 1.5 angled powder brush. I'm just placing this where we contoured, and then for blush, I chose this beautiful bright spring appropriate shade of pink, which adds a pop of color to your cheeks, but it's not too overpowering. That was a collab with Tarte, all listed below. For highlight, I am using this Benefit Sunbeam, which is a liquid/cream highlight. I'm placing this onto my skin with a sponge, and I'm dabbing it consistently to blend it all out. Over top of it, I'm placing a powder highlight, which is Topaz from Jouer Cosmetics. And as I mentioned before, I wanted this look to be extremely glowy and youthful, so I'm also highlighting my nose, my chin, and a bit above my brows. So now that the whole face is complete, we're going to jump right back into brows. I'm taking my go-to brow powder, which is the Tamnova Brow Duo in the shade Blondie, and I'm also using their brow brush. The key to achieving the most beautiful filled-in brows is to be able to see where you are placing the brow powder. So what I mean by this is I brush my hairs upward and I fill in the bottom part, and that technique allows me to see what part of my brow lacks fullness, and that indicates where I should place the shadow. I'm using small strokes to mimic the brow hairs, which is also a very essential step, and I find that using a smaller brush is easier because you have more control over where you place the product. Then I brush the top part downward and fill in what's left. And that's it, guys. This is exactly how I fill in my brows. It might look intimidating, but I promise it's super easy. Now for eyes, I'm taking this beautiful cool tone mauve shade from the Dose of Colors EyesCream palette. I'm taking this on a Samey Beauty 2.4 blending brush. This is our transitioning shade, so I'm blending it from inner corner to outer corner, and I am going above my crease, and that's okay because since it's a light color, it will act as a gradient for when we apply our other colors. Picking up my next palette, this is the Morphe Collab with Kathleen Lights. Yes, Kathleen Lights. And this is a darker mauve shade. I'm taking this on a Morphe M506 brush. Since it's a darker shade, we're using a more precise brush as opposed to the first blending brush. So I am strictly placing this on my crease, and I'm also bringing it down to connect to my outer lash line. Once that's done, I pick up the first brush and then blend everything out. Then, with the same M506 brush, I'm picking up this cranberry shade and repeating the same exact step, placing it on my crease, not going above it, and connecting it to my outer corner just to darken up the look and add more color. Moving on to my lid. I am using this paint pot from MAC. It's called Indian Wood. You guys, if you do not have this paint pot in your kit, pause this video, sprint to MAC and purchase it. It is so disgustingly beautiful, I cannot even begin to describe. It's so gorgeous under golds, bronze shadows, and even foiled shadows. I'm going to be placing this on my lid with a flat brush, and then over top of it, I'm taking this shadow from the Morphe 25B palette. And I do have trouble trying to describe this color because it's so unique and has so many different hints of colors in it. It's somewhat of a champagne-y foiled shadow, yet has hints of cool toned lavender specks, and can even look like pink under some angles. So, I don't know, I thought it was definitely appropriate for this look. I went in there with my finger because shadows like these apply best with the warmth of your fingertips and can even look more foiled with the placement of your finger. Then I go back in with our first blending brush and I make sure everything is blended out. I'm going to run this liquid liner from Galactic on my lash line just for the sake of merging and covering my lash band. So for when I'm applying lashes, it'll look more seamless. Now for the bright and fun part of this look, I'm using these two eye pencils from Italia Deluxe Cosmetics. They are in the shades Neon Purple and Violet. I'm going to put Neon Purple in the first half of my waterline and the Violet one for the second outer half. The reason being is because I want there to be an ombre effect in my waterline with these pencils. Now to buff that liner, I'm taking the first shadow that we used on a Morphe M408 shading brush, and I'm buffing that out across my lower lash line in a back and forth motion. Then, picking up this deeper electric purple from the Morphe 35B palette, I'm placing this on my lower lash line super tightly with an angled brush. Then I go back and forth between the two brushes and I blend it out. And at this point, you guys, it's all up to you to see if you would want this to be more brighter, more electric, and if so, just go back in and repeat this step. After this, all the shadows are done. And I went ahead and started cleaning my brow bone area with some concealer. I'm using the Morphe B19 brush, and the lighter concealer which we used was the Urban Decay Weightless concealer in the shade Light Warm. I pick up the tiniest amount on the tip of my brush, and I carve out my brow bone and clean off the brush and make sure the concealer looks seamless. I really hope that made sense to you guys. So, moving on to lashes, the mascara I'm using here is the Voluminous Carbon Black, and I'm just giving myself a coat of mascara to go in with lashes. For lashes today, I am using the velour lashes in the style Winging. These are an oldie but a goodie. These lashes go from short to long, so it definitely elongates the shape of your eye. It also gives a doll-like effect because of the pieciness. Once I apply my lashes, I go in with the same mascara and give my lower lashes a couple coats just to balance out with my falsies. Last up, for the lips, I wanted a neutral mauve shade to correlate well with the cool-toned eyes, so I'm going in with the Dolce K lip liner from Kylie Cosmetics. I have to say, you guys, I love her lip liners. They glide on so so buttery and seamlessly. I really like them, but I have noticed that some of them just pop out of its packaging, and I do not like that. It's really not that big of a deal, but it's just annoying. So I don't know if anyone else experienced it. If they did, please let me know. For the color, I'm using Morning from Black Moon Cosmetics, and this has been my current favorite neutral lippy. Now that I'm more tan, this looks more nude on me, and I love that. Lastly, I'm taking the setting spray from Jouer Cosmetics. It is in the scent peach. Oh my god, tongue twister. It's in the scent peach, and it smells amazing. And that's it, you guys. This look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Bye, guys.